Good afternoon and welcome to our regular council meeting. Today is Thursday, December 18th, 2025. It's 3 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. Resolution.
Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Greater Madawaska calls to order the December 18th, 2025 regular council meeting at 3 p.m.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Tripp. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. Thank you. Please stand for O Canada. I'm not going to try, actually. The walker's over there. I can't. Thank you. As we gather in chambers, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the unceded traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We'd also like to thank all generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Thank you, Miigwech. Now move on to section 4.1, approval of the agenda.
That the agenda of the council meeting of December 18th, 2025 be approved as amended with the addition of item 10.4, rescheduling regular council meeting January 15, 2026.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Levesque, second by Councillor Popke. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. Section 5.1, minutes, approval of minutes, resolution, please.
Be it resolved that the following minutes are approved by council: November 20th, 2025 regular council and December 11th, 2025 special council.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tripp, second by Councillor Thompson. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. Thank you. We're now on 5.2, resolution, please.
Be it resolved that the following minutes are accepted by council: September 23rd, 2025 Recreation and Culture Committee.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Levesque, second by Councillor Popke. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. Thank you. Moving on to section 6, is there any declaration of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? I'm seeing none from the shaking heads. Thank you. Just a quick mayor's report or message. Since our last meeting, I have attended 5 meetings at county representing the township. I've attended 5 community events. And on December 10th, 2025 at county, Jennifer Murphy was declared warden. And I'd like to congratulate her on that. Jennifer Murphy is the mayor for Bonnechere Valley. And now, as the new year is starting for the county council, I am now sitting on the striking committee. I am sitting on the 5 standing committees where I am vice chair of the development and property. I am the chair of the new municipal accessibility committee, go figure. And I am also co-chair of the climate action plan committee. And I am still a board member of the Ottawa Valley Tourism Board. So there's a couple of things that have been added to my agenda for this year, but we'll be able to manage that and juggle it so it all works out for the township as well. So thank you, and we will continue on with the meeting now. We have 8.1, delegation, Mike Graham, redevelopment fee relief. Mr. Graham, if you'd like to sit there, and if you turn the mic on, please, and so it's green, so that our YouTubers can hear it.
All right. Glad to see you're feeling better, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I'm here asking for your help, everybody. I have received a $9,000 development charge for the property that we have, well, we severed our house off of the farm and moved into what was our workshop store, and now, sorry if I'm stumbling here, there's a lot of people looking at me.
No worries. Just picture us all dressed like the Grinch.
Yeah, no. What I'm asking for was two things. It was a bit of a surprise. Wasn't brought to my attention until we applied for a building permit. And secondly, I feel it's a little bit unjust for a $9,000 charge for a property that has already been developed. And we paid for our permits back in 2013 when we built the buildings and whatnot. The other parts of the charges here, I agree with, no problem, but it's this $9,000 development fee. I've been to Renee and to Kristen a number of times over the last few months trying to get explanations and help. And what I'm being told is that it's the way it is. I was told that I had to come to council to ask for relief on this or some kind of help. So here I am. I don't know where to go from here. I don't have the money to pay this bill. Had I been aware of it when we were doing the severance, I could have had the lawyer pay it out at that time, but again, it wasn't brought to my attention until, and I'm not trying to lay anybody out here, I'm just saying I wasn't aware of it until we applied for the permit. So now I don't have the money to pay it, and the treasurer and other people are sending me invoices now and saying that if we continue to be in there, there's going to be problems. I have nowhere to go. This is my home now, and I want to move forward I want to pay out the rest of this permit so that we can move forward with getting on to getting our occupancy. Long story short, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Thank you. I will say that under the Development Property Act, under Section 27, we as a council, we are not able to waive that fee or reduce that fee. It's a provincial act that we have no control over. It's a set standard, so there's no way that we can reduce that. It's beyond our control under the act. So I can't do anything about the price of that, unfortunately.
Okay.
Is there any other comments? Nothing at this time. So,
is there a way it can be detached from the permit and I make payments on it then?
well, the way it can be detached from, it's not actually detaching from the permit. It's what it actually is. It sets out a payment method and until you would be taking occupancy, until you'd be occupancy, and it would have to be paid up to be for occupancy. So I understand in this circumstance that you're requesting the permit, but you've actually already constructed.
Well, the building was built in 2013. In reality, I'm just doing a renovation.
Yeah, okay, but you've done those renovations, is that correct?
I've put some plumbing in and put in a couple of walls. I haven't gone any farther than that.
So how long would it be before you would be occupancy?
Well, I have to put my flooring in and do some trim work and some insulation. I got the report for you. I don't have it with me today, but I have it, and everything was good there, other than I got to put a bit of insulation in the attic. So there's not a lot of things I have to do to have it complete, to be occupancy. But I need to get this paid, and I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Okay, so I'm restricted by the act as under the standard, or the, sorry, I keep calling it the Development Charge Standard Act. It's not, it's just the Development Charge Act. So my hands are tied at that. However, under the act, under section 27, we could set up a payment method for you, but it would only be up until, it would have to be paid off for occupancy, and it sounds like you're pretty close to that right now. So I don't know how it's going to bring much relief to you other may I make a suggestion that we take your information and take time to internally discuss it, and because the act is very restrictive, and if I can't see that it's going to be much of a relief to you if we do payment program, if you're that close to occupancy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be, the time period would be long enough for you, I don't think.
I can stretch that out.
Well, that's not what we're going for here, but, so right at this point, I'm going to thank you for your delegation.
Okay.
Yeah, Councillor Tripp?
Is there an opportunity for third-person financing for this?
No, the whole reason for me having to sell the house and sever everything was because we were going to lose our farm to the bank. My credit's done.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason we had to do this. I didn't want to, but
I mean, I'm just, you've said what you said about the finance, I think we'll just leave it at that. I think that's okay. Is there any other questions, comments? None seen. So I will thank you.
Okay.
And we'll get back to you. But I can't see in the circumstances that it's going to be a very positive response at this time, because the amount of time from where you are now to occupancy is a very short period of time, and I don't think that's going to bring you a lot of relief. And unfortunately, we're not able to change, or we're not able to waive the fees or reduce the fees or what have you. And I thank you for acknowledging that staff has done a great job with you and directing you to us and stuff, so I thank you for that. So at this time, I'm just going to thank you for your information, and we'll get back to you.
yeah, if there's some kind of a payment plan I can do on it, that's the only option I have right now.
Okay.
Other than living
All right. Thank you, Mr. Graham.
Okay.
You have been heard. Thank you. All right.
I'll bring that report over to you, Chris.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
We'll now move on to section 9.1, bylaw 69-2025, acquisition and assumption of lands as public highway, Madawaska Road. Resolution, please.
The council approves bylaw 69, 2025 for the acquisition and assumption as a public highway, a portion of Madawaska Road designated as part 3 on reference plan 49R 21033.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Levesque. Background, please.
Thank you. So another road assumption. I feel like this is becoming a monthly occurrence, but so this bylaw formally seeks to acquire a small portion of Madawaska Road as a public highway. So this requirement stems from 2 active consent applications that we have for 4084 Madawaska Road, which currently propose to create 2 new residential lots. And then, of course, as a condition of those consent applications, they were required to survey 10 meters width of the center line of the traveled road and convey it to the township for road widening purposes. So therefore, we are looking at assuming a 50 square meter section of Madawaska Road, which has been designated as Part 3 on reference plan 21033 for road widening purposes. And as always, all costs associated with the registration of this bylaw and the transfer of the lands are entirely borne by the applicant.
Thank you. Is there any questions, comments, discussion items from council? Councillor Thompson, I see you.
I did have a question, and I don't know if you've already answered it for the homeowners. If we're acquiring the land, why they have to pay for the survey, et cetera?
So when we do road assumptions like this, they have a benefit because they are applying for consent applications. So we have a right as part of that consent application to impose conditions, and this is an opportunity for us as part of that consent to get these lands at no cost. Typically, if we were to, do any type of road work or widening on any other property, we don't really have the authority to ask for these lands. We have to go through agreements of purchase and sale, whereas this is an opportunity for us that allows us to take that at no cost. And yes, ultimately, the applicants, as part of, surveying for the creation of the new lots, they do have to identify whether or not there's any of those lands. And if there is, we ask that they convey them to us. Yeah.
Supplemental?
I think it would be good to explain to anyone who's watching why we have this constant need to align and change, and, we've got the old roads, if you could explain. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of roads that are considered forest roads that, are on private property, and we don't actually hold actual ownership. So this is the opportunity where we can actually acquire proper ownership and width of our roads. So typically a lot of our roads, you can see them at 6 meters or 5 meters, but this is an opportunity for us to at least get half of the road, even if it's at a 10-meter width at some point, to be able to get full ownership of that at no cost.
Thank you. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns? No? Call to question, all in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. Thank you. Move on to 9.2, bylaw 70-2025, zoning bylaw amendment, Township, Black Donald Pit. Resolution, please.
That council approve bylaw 70-2025 to rezone the property located at 87 Hydro Dam Road from rural to extractive industrial, exception 1, to support the expansion of an existing pit on Crown land.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Popke, second by Councillor Tripp. Background, please.
Okay, so this zoning bylaw amendment is a township-initiated zoning bylaw amendment associated with our Black Donald Pit, which is located off of Hydro Dam Road. The amendment would rezone the expanded pit lands from rural to rural extractive industrial exception 1 to support the proposed expansion of the existing township-operated pit onto approximately 5 hectares of adjacent Crown land, for which the Aggregate Resource Act license has currently been applied for through the ministry. Although technically the township doesn't regulate Crown land typically through zoning, we're doing this amendment for transparency and essentially for long-term planning, because applying this zone, it ensures that the future development of the applications in the area are reviewed with full awareness that there is an existing aggregate pit there. Essentially, the entire pit is surrounded by Crown land. So we're also removing those sensitive uses by identifying those areas, and then in that expansion, the proposed exceptions reflect that. The amendment also aligns with provincial, county, and municipal planning policies. There's minimal land use conflict, and therefore we're recommending approval of the amendment.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns, discussion items from council? I see none. Call the question, and all in favor. That is unanimous, so carried. Thank you. Let's try that again. We'll now move on to 9.3, short-term accommodations licensing update, information item.
Oh, me again. So,
You're popular.
Yeah. So this is just a memo coming to council just to update everybody on how the township short-term accommodation licensing program is going. Overall, things are pretty positive. So far, we have currently identified 130 STAs with now, as of today, 105 licenses issued. We've got 3 applications still pending, which gives us roughly about an 80% compliance rate. We have begun some formal enforcement, which started in August, mostly focusing on education first and then penalties issued thereafter. The program continues to be cost neutral, with license fees and fines covering all administrative and monitoring costs. But ultimately, licensing's helped, improve the safety, compliance, and confirming that fire safety and everything is there. Though we recognize that, since the program began, there has been a drop in active STAs, and that's for various reasons. Typically, some people pull them off the market in the winter time. There are some that are pulling them off because they're likely not compliant and wouldn't be able to meet licensing requirements. In terms of complaints, they typically remain limited and largely localized. And then looking ahead, we were looking at putting together a visitor information package, which would help promote community standards and the safety and responsible tourism within our community.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns from council? Councillor Thompson.
Just one quick question. When you say complaints were localized, I mean, you said they're not complaining about the program. What are the
No, just talking about complaints in general, like they're pretty minor, some small noise complaints and that sort of stuff, just meaning that they're pretty small in nature, not necessarily the complaints associated with compliance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No, Kristen, I want to thank you for taking that on. Probably not when you took the job as a planner, you'd thought you'd be doing that, but it's everybody's running it great, and I thank you all, everybody, all the support, because I know it just isn't one, it touches on everybody's department, so thank you. All right, thank you. That is an information item. So we will now move on to section 10.1, bylaw 67-2025, 2026, operating and capital budget, and bylaw 66-2025, 2026, employee remuneration. That was easy. And resolution, please.
That council approve bylaw 67, 2025 being a bylaw to adopt the 2026 operating and capital budget estimates, and that council approves bylaw 66, 2025 being a bylaw to provide the remuneration of employees of the municipality for the year 2026, effective January 1st, 2026.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tripp, second by Councillor Levesque. Background, please.
So on November 20th, 2025, at the regular meeting of council, the draft 2026 budget for the township was presented for council's consideration. And we returned to the table on December, a total operating budget of $7,814,650, a total capital budget of $1,501,136, resulting in a total municipal levy increase of 4.72%. So passing this bylaw today for the 2026 budget and the 2026 employee remuneration ensures the township's operating and capital needs are met for 2026.
Thank you. Is there any questions, comments, concerns, discussion items from council? Councillor Thompson.
Just a comment. You make this you as in the whole, whoever the team was that worked on this, makes it very easy for us to understand why the charges are the way they are and the things we can't change. And you also do a great job of explaining to the public how much of their total tax bill is the municipal part. And that's probably why we're probably going to be one of the first townships to approve their budgets, I think, again. Anyhow, thank you. That makes a big, big difference. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, concerns, discussion items from council? There are none. Just to echo what Councillor Thompson said, yeah, everybody's doing a great job, and the fact that you're able to present a budget and vocalize it and explain it to us and show us on paper and for the public, it's greatly appreciated. And I would ask that if anybody wants to see other townships, how they go through their budgets, I would say just go to their YouTube channels and watch. And I'll leave it at that, but thank you very much for making ours a much easier situation. Thank you.
Definitely was a team effort. A lot of time and effort went in by managers and staff. And we will be, once this passes, we will be promoting the information to the public.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions, all in favor? That is unanimous. So carried. Thank you. Now move on to 10.2, bylaw 68-2025, User fees and charges. Resolution, please.
That council repeal bylaw 13, 2025 and approve bylaw 68, 2025 user fee and charges, being a bylaw to establish the general tariff of fees and charges for the Township of Greater Madawaska.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Popke. Background, please. Treasurer?
Yep.
Okay.
So the user fee and charges bylaw is meant to incorporate all user fees and charges imposed for services and activities for the township. We usually do an annual review of the user fees and charges to ensure that the fees meet legislative requirements and strategic plan objectives, align with our budget, and remain comparable with similar municipalities. So as a part of the 2026 budget review, staff reviewed the fees for appropriate changes. The proposed updated bylaw with changes for review and consideration was attached to your report today. Staff have included a summary of the changes in your report, mostly just a couple related to recreation and waste management. But that's what you have in front of you today.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns from Councillor Thompson?
I just have one thing that I'm curious about. When you say renting for pickleball, the facility for, does this mean you can't just show up and start playing pickleball at the courts anymore, or volleyball, or on the baseball court?
I'm going to let Leonard answer that.
Okay, thanks.
No, you can still show and play pickleball, but it's for if someone wants to have an organized event. Like if a group wants to rent it and play pickleball and use the equipment, then there's a charge for a fee for that.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to be clear on that before I started getting phone calls.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Levesque?
I guess this, excuse me, this would be more supplemental to Councillor Thompson, but I'm just trying to, I guess, get clarity for that. I guess the question for you, Leonard, is just on that, because I believe now people are not charged for anything, and it's a combination of organized and I don't want to say disorganized, but it's show up and play. So I'm curious how this would be even managed if you were to charge people.
Can I, sorry, I just, I'll comment on that. This came about actually a program provider had asked to be able to fully rent the facility area. So for example, this summer we had beach volleyball. We have an external provider coming in to run beach volleyball programming. They're renting the facility, the area to do that. So it's not necessarily day-to-day usage or those types of pieces. It's more of a private use. So it's not open to the public for use at the time. So this is where they come in and they essentially are running their business out of that facility.
Okay, thank you, Renee.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, concerns, discussion items from council? There are none seen. Calling question. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. We now move on to section 10.3, sale of surplus lands, vested township property. Resolution, please.
That council declare part lot 19, concession 2 lying southeast of 49R8726 and part 1, 49R13412 north of RDAL, BTN, LTS, lots 18 and 19, concession 2 southwest of part 5, 49R13662, Bagot, Blyfield, Brong, as surplus lands.
See, it's not so easy sometimes. Do we have a mover? Councillor Popke, second by Councillor Levesque. Background, please. Treasurer?
So on September 18th, staff presented a report to council regarding the failed tax sale of this subject property. Council approved vesting the parcel to the township after the tax sale was unsuccessful, resulting in the township assuming ownership of the land. In accordance with council's direction, staff approached the abutting property owner to confirm their interest in purchasing the parcel. And on November 20th, staff brought forward another report to council outlining an offer from the abutting owner. At that meeting, staff presented the arrears of $32,003.85, and council approved the write-off of $22,003.85, with the remaining balance of $10,000 to be provided by the purchaser. This is more of a formality, so as per our bylaw 22-2007, the township must formally declare the lands to be surplus prior to its sale. The bylaw also requires council to obtain at least one independent appraisal of the fair market value. In this case, the parcel cannot function as a standalone due to zoning, access, and servicing limitations, and therefore has no open market value beyond its use by the abutting landowner. So as a result, a formal appraisal would not provide a meaningful benefit. So staff recommends that the lands be declared surplus, allowing the sale to proceed with the abutting owner. And just as a side note, as part of the agreement of the sale, all legal costs associated with the transaction will be assumed by the purchaser.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns from council? Councillor Thompson.
Would anyone, if the abutting owner hadn't agreed to buy it, would anyone else have been able to buy it without changing zoning? Like, would we ever create a limited service piece? You know, something,
No.
there's no road access?
No, there's no access, and like I think half the property's underwater.
Well, that would make a difference too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Move on to 10.4, rescheduling regular council meeting of January 15th, 2026. Resolution, please.
That council reschedule the regular meeting of council currently scheduled for Thursday, January 15, 2026 at 3 p.m. to Thursday, January 15, 2026 at 9 a.m. to accommodate scheduling requirements as permitted in accordance with Section 4.2 of Bylaw 24, 2023, being the procedural bylaw.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tripp, second by Councillor Popke. Any questions from any council? No? All in favor of this change? That is unanimous. So carried. Thank you. We'll now move on to 10.5, 2025 Year in Review Presentation, Information Item.
To get my presentation up.
This is the suspenseful part. Here we go. Maybe. There we go.
So staff today is going to present the 2025 year in review. Last year would have been the first time we had presented it. We're moving forward with that, adding more to it and really representing what is activities or services are being provided by the township. What's really important too within our staffing complement is what we're achieving due to, I mean, mainly how small our staff is. So we only have so many staff. We have 30 full-time and part-time staff and 25 volunteer firefighters. So working through that, it's quite amazing how many items staff is able to achieve under council's direction. So we'll get into the presentation.
On behalf of council, I'm proud to present the Township of Greater Madawaska's 2025 Year in Review. This report highlights and defines the community spirit, collaboration, and continued momentum across our town. Our dedicated team delivered meaningful progress on major initiatives, strengthened our essential services, and supported a thriving local business community. We expanded recreation opportunities and advanced long-term projects that will shape our township for generations. These accomplishments reflect a collective effort of our volunteers, staff, council, community partners, residents who contribute to making Greater Madawaska a vibrant and resilient place we call home. Thank you for your continued trust and involvement. Together we are creating the future we can all be proud of, where we truly grow greater together. So we put it the greater in Madawaska. Thank you all for all your efforts.
So we'll move into governance. This year, council had 16 regular and special council meetings, reviewed 140 reports to council, had 6 public meetings and 1 delegation, which was tonight, and then the 71 bylaw enacted and 3 presentations to council. This slide demonstrates the council's commitment to the community, the township. We have council representation on the boards following. We have the library board, the police board, Canada Day Committee, Rec and Culture Committee, Renfrew and Area Chamber of Commerce, and the Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority. We also have the mayor on the representation on the county committees. So we have county council, and as mayor Weir had already mentioned tonight, we have the committee of the whole at the county with corporate services, operation, health, community services, development and property, where the mayor is vice chair. We also have the striking committees for Municipal Accessibility Committee and Climate Action Plan Advisory Committee and the Ottawa Valley Tourism Association. We've also listed some conference items at the conferences and training that councillors have attended. And then council had 3 delegations this year, 2 for the Ministry of Health and 1 at the Ministry of Finance. And then I'll pass it over to Finance and Administration to work through that department.
For 2025, a major project that we undertook was our 2025 Enhanced Asset Management Plan with our new 10-year financial strategy. This was a huge undertaking and a lot of staff involvement to go through all our assets and find a plan that was suitable for and manageable and sustainable by our township. We've also created new and updated financial policies to increase financial accountability and sustainability, including a TCA policy, a reserve and reserve fund policy, a delegation of authority, and a temporary tax relief for substantially unusable properties. We had to prepare an audit service RFP and award for auditors this year. We've really dove into cybersecurity training on all levels with regular phishing tests. And we have enhanced features with our financial software. This was probably the first full year that we had it under operations. So we've created a lot of usable reports that departments can use. We've created digital timesheets and approval workflows to reduce paper and become more efficient. And under enhanced communication, we sent out understanding your supplementary omitted tax bill for those who received supplementary bills this year. So anybody who received an additional bill for supplementary bills received a why are you receiving this, an information package. Another major task that we've taken on, and I encourage residents to sign up for, is our e-services online portal. I checked this morning, we now have 208 residents on the portal, so we're increasing that number every day. We are pumping out actually right now the gift card if those who sign up are entered into a draw for a gift card. So. And then we provided biannual financial updates. So just a review of our taxation. This is an information brochure that we sent out earlier this year. It's very well liked by the members of the community. It's for every tax dollar paid by property owners in Greater Madawaska, showing how it's broken down into our 3 major categories, which is the school boards in the county, which are funds that we have to remit over to those entities, and then our funds that we get to keep, how they're broken out into individual departments as well. Processing payments and responding to inquiries we've responded to 4,150 properties this year.
So with communication and engagement, we have completed 5 surveys, so asset management level service, the newsletter contest for GM Gear, communication and engagement, the Calabogie secondary plan, and Let's Talk Health and Wellness. And along with that, there has been 4 community engagement sessions that relate to the Calabogie secondary plan and the Let's Talk Health and Wellness sessions. in Griffith and Calabogie. And then a few of the initiatives have been the revamping of the newsletter, and we've received positive feedback on that. We have the new website platform that just went live last month, and then the new communication and engagement strategy. So we have here just a bit of a graph demonstrating the outcome of the 2025 communication and engagement survey results for demonstration and the newsletter. And then for bylaw enforcement, when comparing to 2024 numbers, you can see they're a bit lower. This is due to the more like parking tickets complaints coming through the system. So we have 141 concerns, inquiries, and requests for services. This comes through the Access E1 reporting system. Mostly when it comes to the highest one is Public Works. There's 37. Those are mostly would be winter control, gravel roads, those types of requests coming through. And then other than that, following through is bylaw general inquiries would be any general inquiry, and then going so on. And then I'm going to move this to our fire chief for protective services.
Good afternoon. So I'll give you a little update on what the fire department's been up to this year. So in 2025, the Greater Madawaska Fire Department operated with a complement of 25 on-call firefighters. Throughout the year, the township issued 122 burn permits, helping manage wildfire risk. Operational demands increased significantly in 2025. Members logged just over 5,300 training hours, nearly 3 times the total from 2024, reflecting a strong commitment to training, certification, and firefighter safety. Firefighters also recorded 2,748 incident response hours, more than double the previous year, demonstrating both increased call volume and continued dedication from the firefighters. Training remained a key priority in 2025. Training rooms at both halls were upgraded thanks to our township facilities team, which improved our learning environments. Live fire training was delivered through the OFM Mobile Live Fire Training Unit, with 11 firefighters participating in controlled live fire scenarios. 15 members completed hazardous materials operations training and certification, ensuring our team is prepared for possible hazmat issues. 18 firefighters successfully completed in-house firefighter 2 training with a 100% pass rate. As a result, 75% of GMFD is now fully certified to NFPA standards. With newer recruits, that's the 25%, they're going to begin their certification in the new year. Additional training included first responder and basic life support certification for 3 firefighters, so that's a 40-hour program. Pump operation training in accordance with NFPA 1002 for 2 firefighters, and we hosted SP 103 wildland fire training for neighboring fire departments. So our calls, they're up this year. The 2025 incident profile reflects the wide range of services provided by the department. MVCs, motor vehicle collisions, was our largest portion of calls, followed by wildland fires. Crews also responded to hydro line incidents, rescues, and a limited number of medicals. This range of incidents highlights the importance of ongoing training, equipment readiness, and operational flexibility. The money. Several key apparatus and equipment upgrades were completed in 2025. A new pumper truck was delivered in May, enhancing pumping capabilities and reliability. A new side-by-side was acquired through the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant, improving off-road and rural response capabilities. Most recently, new dragger self-contained breathing apparatuses, or SCBAs, were delivered, replacing our 29-year-old equipment and significantly improving firefighter safety and compliance with current standards. On top of that, this morning, the department received an approval through the Ontario Fire Protection Grant for $28,770 to purchase a new SCBA washing unit. This equipment will allow for proper and consistent cleaning of the new SCBAs and face pieces following use, reducing firefighter exposure. Throughout the year, the Greater Madawaska Fire Department actively engaged with the community through a range of public events and outreach initiatives. An open house was hosted for council and the CAO to showcase departmental personnel, apparatus, operational capabilities, and future needs. GMFD supported and participated in several community events, including the Calabogie Winter Carnival, Canada Day celebrations across Calabogie, Madawaska, and at the DACA Centre, as well as local fundraising community initiatives such as Snyder's Campground, the Griffith Fish and Game Club, Griffith Show and Shine. Firefighters also delivered hands-on fire prevention and safety education during a visit to the school in Calabogie. We've also hosted a very successful annual GMFD Haunted Walk and hosting the annual Hunter's Spaghetti Dinner in Griffith. Emergency preparedness. So this year, the township participated in a joint emergency management training session that included most of Renfrew County municipalities and county representatives. The tabletop exercise was very successful, highlighting the strong collaboration and preparedness of our local emergency management team. That's all I got.
So for Public Works, we started off this year on Church Street. That's the main street through the Griffith subdivision. We fixed up a bunch of drainage issues on that and resurface treated that section. And then we moved on to Madawaska Road. It was a fairly big job for us to take on this year. It took pretty well the rest of our summer into September before we got them upgrades done. Also, we did an overlay on Bluff Point. We overlaid the existing surface treatment that was on it. So it'll give us another, hopefully 9 to 10 years if it works out. For gravel rehabilitation this year, we did 1,000 ton on Stones Lake, 1,000 ton on Kennelly Mountain, Highland Creek Road in Griffith, Bridges Road, and Fraser Road, 1,000 ton each of those. We also moved into the maintenance part, grading of gravel roads. We also tried, we applied liquid calcium this year and tried that. That worked out very well for us. Replacing old signage with some new signage. We started to do some tree removal on Taddy Hill last year. Hopefully we can get some more of that done, but we have to switch over to brushing and tree removal on some of the capital projects for next year and get those done first, but then hopefully we'll have time to go back. We have the coal patching on hardtop roads throughout the summer as well. We collaborated with McNabb Braeside Township this year. We both hauled some gravel to Riopel Road. It's a shared road between the two municipalities. We normally snowplow it in the winter and they maintain it in the summer months, but it was in bad need of some gravel, so we kind of shared, put about the same amount of trucks and shared that job as well. Murphy Road, we changed some culverts. Wendell Lane needed some culverts replaced as well. We got those done. We also fixed up a snowplow turnarounds on Riopel Road. It was very bad area to turn around in, not big enough for trucks. We had 1 tons running all the way down there just to do this one road. So we did a bunch of work in there and made the turnaround bigger. Now that a tandem's right going by it anyway, he can plow it now instead of running down there with just one truck. Upper Spruce Edge too, and Wendell Lane, we had big problems turning trucks around, so we got those fixed up as well. The line painting this year, we did Madawaska Road, Norway Lake Road, Fraser Road, Berryville, Mill Street, and Madawaska Street as well. And we, in the middle of our busy summer, we ended up having an engine go in our excavator. That was a pretty big job brought on to our mechanic and took a lot of time. The Black Donald Pit expansion, even though I haven't had very much to do with this, Christian's done most of it. But we've been working at it for quite a few years now. And we also did parking lot drainage tile for Leonard over at the community center this fall and put some drainage tile in, and hopefully it works out well for him. Internal equipment maintenance, we have 5 tandem plows, 7 half tons, 8 fire trucks, 1 roll-off truck and trailer, and 1 float for moving equipment to maintain as well. So there's 32 owned vehicles, equipment that we're taking care of as well.
Good afternoon. So for 2025, environmental services, we entered into a 3-year contract with Circular Materials for recycling blue box materials. And we also a new 3-year contract with DM Mills Associations for environmental services and monitoring of all the 5 landfill sites, and just a regular public application and community cleanup in the spring. So you can see the amounts we bring into the waste sites and tonnage. It stays pretty consistent, as you can see, over the last 4 years. As Norway Lake, as you can see, Norway Lake is very busy. We have, it's probably 4 times the rest of the sites. And the facilities and the grounds areas, again, we complete the snow removal and salting for 14 municipal facilities. And we also maintain the 5 trail systems: Spurline, Madawaska Nordic, Griffith Highlands, Manitoba Mountain, and Eagle's Nest. And all those trails have been getting a lot more busier over the years. There's been, every year there's more and more people attending those areas. So it makes for a little bit more upkeep and signage. Performing ground maintenance activities on 25 properties, which anything from roof repairs to concrete repairs to grass cutting and that sort of thing. And performing facility maintenance activities at 19 buildings. So this year, we did some new indoor lighting at the Calabogie Community Hall. Partially just the old ones were not for energy efficiency, and just to clean it up, make it a little more modern. With the new lighting storage areas at the Calabogie Rink change rooms, just to tidy them up a little bit and give more area for skates and helmets for the kids to use. New shower installation at Ginger Rink, which will be shared with the fire department for that area if they need to have rink to use for shower if any instance they need to, or for any emergency situations where we need a shower area for the public. We put in a new office space for the seniors active living program, and we upgraded 2 of the training rooms for the fire department. And then a few new things this year. We installed a new dock on Madawaska Street, and we also put a dock and a washroom at Stennial Lake, which I got a lot of good feedback about that. So it was everybody took very well to that. So, and then there's going to be a few more improvements this year, just with the boat launch area, with the ramp, with another contractor that's interested in helping out. Thank you.
Okay, planning and development. So we updated a number of bylaws this year, including parkland, site plan control, noise, seasonal roads, and we had our first housekeeping zoning bylaw amendment updated, including our schedules and our mapping. We've revised all of our Planning Act and building permit applications to include our new logo, and they are in style with our current style guide and are all updated to be fillable. For Committee of Adjustment, we updated our policies and procedures, which were reviewed in early 2025 and updated. We launched our short-term accommodation program in April of this year, with applications still ongoing, and we have 105 currently licensed. Digital services, City Reporter, I was hoping to have ready to go and live by today, but it's very close. So hopefully early in the new year, we will see that go live, and we'll accept building permit applications online. We released our interactive zoning map. Many thanks to the County of Renfrew for working on this for us. It released in October, and I think it's been great. I haven't received as many zoning inquiries as I would typically get, so I'm hoping that it's in thanks due to that. Major planning projects, we have our secondary plan that was issued earlier this year in April 2025 with Republic Urbanism getting that project. And with that, we've got our community improvement plan, which was previously just drafted in September, and it's ongoing. as well as our infrastructure and studies. So the CLIECA is in progress, and it's linked to our secondary plan. So it'll be great when the municipality has that in place. Our Black Donald pit expansion was filed with the ministry in June. We just got a complete application last month, so it's very exciting. Hoping that this 4-year-long project will hopefully wrap up in the first quarter of 2026. And we also completed our the survey of Madawaska Street. So in terms of applications, we've processed and received 10 zoning bylaw amendment applications this year with 0 minor variances, and that's in part to the majority of the development is not, hasn't necessarily been considered minor, and we've addressed them more through our zoning bylaw amendments. We've entered into 5 development agreements, and as of this morning, we are now at 18 consent applications received. We've also are in process of processing 2 site plan control applications. And as of this morning, we have issued 105 short-term accommodation licenses.
Okay, thank you. As you can see from this year, we've issued 92 building permits, 39 septic permits, 3 orders to comply, and conducted 436 inspections. The permit numbers are actually are somewhat on par with last year. You'll see though that the revenues are lower from last year. That reason being is not as big as projects being completed, lower construction value projects, and also reflects the the development charges because there isn't as many new builds. With the development charges being applied, some of the new builds are actually tear downs or demolitions that are resulting in new builds, so the development charges aren't applied. Other than that, that's about it.
I'll be speaking for the program coordinator as she's at another event for, I think it's the luncheon for SALC today. So the SALC grant application was successful. We were able to hire 1 program coordinator. The funding went live on April 1st, 2025. With that, we received dollars in grant funding for startup fees, which allowed the program coordinator to connect with all the community groups for seniors to purchase new exercise equipment. There's been the initial development included some of the partnerships amongst community groups. See, here's a list of some of the programming that the SALC program has offered to date. So we have some physical wellness. You could see some sub and kayaking with Mad River Paddle, yoga across the township, and some mind and motion wellness series. So it's a brain gym exercises and chair exercises. There's been some social activities such as fused glass workshops, book club with the Greater Madawaska Public Library and some coffee time. And then seminars and workshops that we've seen is the Dementia Society, luncheon, and Comfort Play Initiative. And then there's been 3 big excursions since April, which is the Ottawa Tulip Festival, Ongo Flaming Leaf Tour, and the Hard Rock Casino that happened in November. So here we have a few of the photos with the community or the members, the SALC members participating in some of the activities. It's been well received throughout the community. The goal of the program is to get 55 plus members up and active and connecting within the community, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Additionally, with the program coordinator, we've been able to have a portion come and do programming. So there's youth programming here. We have 16 days of summer camps that happen with a partnership with Public Works and the Greater Madawaska Fire Department for Touch a Truck at the day camps. There's been 20 Calabogie summer camp registrations. And then there's the first partnership with a business, Mad River Paddle, partnered with the Township to have a summer camp for a week with 12 participants. And then next Monday, we have the first, holiday camp for kids. So we have 13 participants registered for the Jingle Jam Kids Morning Camp. And then there's been the skating program registrations with 44. Along with that, there's been partnerships with Valley Sports to offer beach volleyball. That was this summer at Barnett Park. And then there's indoor volleyball partnerships with residents, indoor kids and youth pickup volleyball for the Christmas break, and then indoor pickleball partnerships with some other residents. And then below here, we have some of the posters and the pictures of the activities over the summer. And then moving on to committees and boards. I'll go through a few of the committees. So we have the committee, Recreation Culture Committee events. They hosted a Music in the Park. And then they had the first Landscape Artist of the Year with 13 adults and 7 under 18. And then there was the Great Pumpkin Walk that was just hosted in October. That was well received with some hot chocolate, apple cider, and some treat bags for the kids. Other Recreation and Culture Committee events included the Calabogie Lions Club Winter Carnival Trivia Night, planned and executed a lively trivia night during the Calabogie Lions Club Winter Carnival. They had a display table at the business showcase, and then they're designing a Trails Handbook for the short-term accommodation guests in the Greater Madawaska that will really feed into that document for short-term accommodation providers. Canada Day was very successful across the township again with 2,500 attendees in Calabogie alone, never mind across, and another successful year. So you can see some of the pictures of the events and activities that happened in Calabogie, Madawachen, and Dacre. And then we've added some slides from the public library. This is to demonstrate the library the township is a big funder of the library and services, and it really adds and accents services within their community. They have 506 active members to date. They have 8,152 checkouts, and then so on. So there's really some progress there on services and maybe some services that the community members are not aware of. And then some of the activities included the reading club, family bingo, chess club, Canada Day pancake breakfast, the Griffith and Madawachen Fish and Game Club Fishing Derby, a Let's Talk Science, some photography workshops, and Learn to Knit. With the township, as indicated, we provide some funding for services, which really helps with the library and operations. There's partnerships with the Griffith and Calabogie Lions Club for building use to provide community activities. They've been a big component, or the volunteers are a big component of actually assisting in the SELC services and events we were able to provide. And then we have an agreement with the town of Renfrew for the Greater Madawaska resident use of facilities and programming. And then we have fee waiving for the Calabogie 55 Plus Club, Calabogie Market, and some grants for Remembrance Day and the DACA and Madawachen Hall grants.
This is where I get to talk really fast as I present, as per usual. So we had lots of exciting things happening with community development this year, starting off with the township logo launch in January. It was a lot of work that went into it across the board within the office, and it was really well received, which has been amazing and a huge relief. We get lots of great compliments on it, which is always nice to hear when we're kind of designing to represent the township. So that's been really, really well received and very, very positive. Which led us into a wayfinding grant that we were successful with to start replacing some signage across the township in correlation with the new logo, which has been great. So it's kind of a seamless rollout from one to the other. And now we have all of this beautiful signage across the township. Wayfinding was established as one of the biggest things that lacked without the township. So this way we have new signage that directs people towards points of interest, natural amenities, and some of our business locations. We were approached by the Ottawa Valley Tourist Association. They had the Weather Network who had come with an idea for Renfrew County, and we were one of the municipalities that were successful in partnering with them. We brought the Weather Network out of Toronto down, and they spent 3 days in Calabogie touring the township. I coordinated some different meets at various businesses. We went to 8 different locations throughout the township and did segments at each. The businesses were incredibly grateful, and it received huge attention across Renfrew County and beyond, linking up with Odo and OVTA, who helped share the posts as well. So that was a big promotion for the area, which was really exciting. We got some great responses to it. These were some of our highest views that we've ever had on social media through reels and different posts, and some great compliments and stuff from the businesses. That was an initiative that was very exciting for many of them, because most of them had never been on TV before. It's not an opportunity that comes to Calabogie often, so they were very excited about that. The business showcase was an idea that I came up with to try to feature everything that the township has to offer in the way of businesses out in the area. So I wanted to kind of venture away from a market strategy and go towards promoting what we have out here as far as commercial businesses. I feel like Greater Madawaska has a lot that's hidden kind of among the trees out here. So a lot of people don't realize just how much we have to offer across the township. It was a huge success. We had 37 businesses on site, 35 of them local to Greater Madawaska, which was incredibly exciting. Businesses reported over $20,000 in sales in just that one day, which was incredible to see. We raised over $1,700 for the local food bank, thanks to Councillor Popke being kind enough to let us shave his head and face there. We had MPP Billy Deneau come down, and it was a really wonderful event, and all of the businesses have already said that they're interested in coming back for 2026. These are some photos taken throughout the day, and yeah, it was a great success. It was a lot of fun, and I didn't hear any negativity back from it, aside from maybe the live music under the covered rink. Seems to be a common thing there. I went to work trying to establish more relationships with some of the tourist organizations, Renfrew County groups, which has been incredibly beneficial. It led to some of the opportunities that we had, like the Weather Network and stuff like that. We attended quite a few events in order to show that we were representing the township there, because we do have local businesses that win awards through there and are being recognized. So it's nice to see that way. So there was quite a few events that were attended this year. We've also been successful in getting a lot more attention for features on the area, which has been incredibly exciting to see. So this year I really focused on trying to get us as many free features as we possibly could, which was amazing. So we kind of saved our marketing budget, and we're approached actually by quite a few of these people wanting to do features on the area, which was exciting. So we've been in a number of publications, the Eganville Leader, Horizon Magazine feature write-up, which is based out of Toronto, which really expanded our market beyond Renfrew County. Ottawa Valley Travel, Explore Renfrew County, Ottawa Valley Life Magazine, 96.1 My FM is starting to take more interest in our events out here. I've been encouraging them to come out and do more coverage of things from Canada Day, the Business Showcase, and stuff like that. So that's been a great connection to have as well. And then we're back in the Ottawa Valley Travel Roadmap, and this year the cycling map as well. We were successful in our application for a Taste of the Valley event, which was incredibly exciting. Greater Madawaska is actually right on the border of Renfrew County, so they're using us as a benchmark to see how many people we're able to bring into these events from outside of Renfrew County, which was really neat. It was the highest attendance that we've ever had out here for a Taste of the Valley event, with over 1,270 visitors. We had 70 vendors on site, 6 food trucks and businesses, and I would love to give a shout out to the Lions Club for their help with this. The county is absolutely, they adore them. They do such great work out there, as well as to the golf course for the use of their golf carts. It stands apart from other events. They've said many times, the Lions Club being on site to help facilitate. We also came up with an idea. This is 2024, but it kind of landed too late in the year for us to include it in our review last year. But thankfully, when Mr. Popke showed up with his Santa beard and hat, we came up with an idea to visit some of the local businesses. It was a huge success last year. We were able to do 19 local businesses. It was kind of a last minute thing. So this year we went a little bit bigger, but 19 local businesses were visited and photographed with almost 60,000 views on there. That was our highest that we've ever had on social media, with the most reactions we've ever had to anything before. So that was really, really exciting. And most of those businesses throughout the year have been asking if we're coming back this year. So These are some of the tours that we did last year. Like I said, it was really, really well received, shared across Renfrew County, and was a pretty unique initiative out here in the area. This year, we came up with a new idea. We actually just wrapped it up yesterday, so I'm still working on all of the photos and stuff like that, but we hit even more businesses, ventured even further, scared a few folks, I'm sure, along the way, but it was a huge success yesterday as well, a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to rolling that out next week. Online presence was a big focus for me ever since starting here, trying to get us more engagement, more views, more interactions on there. So I've just kind of put together some of the things that we've had on there that has been a good reaction and review on there. So we've got the ATV tour. I did a little reel through Calabogie and Greater Madawaska to do a little ATV tour and put it out there, and that was a huge success on there as well. I'm still working on something else that kind of takes you from Renfrew through Greater Madawaska and all around. So that is in the works as well. We did some fun township initiatives, the Santa visits in there, just shows how many reactions and stuff like that. And township photos, I did a get to know Greater Madawaska using some of our photos and stuff like that in correlation with the logo launch, and that was a great reaction on there as well. Our online presence is continuing to increase, which is very, very reassuring to see. We're getting new followers each and every day, which is very exciting on there. So we've had huge growth, especially with our reach in there, with putting out unique and exciting things on social media is really expanding our borders beyond just our residents. So they're looking to us for more than just information on the township. They're looking for us for fun and entertainment and some knowledge and stuff like that as well, which is neat. Website, we put together just some stats as to what's most visited on there, what's kind of the points of interest on, and it's typically the same each year on there. It doesn't vary that much, but this is the most visited and where you're going to get the most attention on there. And just to summarize, so Greater Madawaska strengthened community connections, supported local businesses, hosted major regional events, and grew its presence both online and across Ontario. Through collaborative partnerships and creative initiatives, the township continues to build momentum and positions itself as a vibrant place to live, visit, and do business. That wasn't too fast. No?
Thank you. And that, I guess, summarizes what the township has been up to over 2025. And I'll close that off.
Wow. Thank you so much. Is there any questions, comments, discussion items coming from council as a result of seeing this presentation? Councillor Popke.
I just want to say congratulations to everybody. It's big steps, a lot done, and the community sees it, and so thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you. Councillor Tripp.
I'd just like to echo that. This has been a remarkable report. Last year, as we went through this, I thought, how are we going to top last year? And listening to the collective story and the impact that you're having out in the community is unimaginable last year. And now we're at a different level. So it begs the question, what's next for next year, starting with the Grinch? But again, well done to everyone. It's nice to be able to show the community the impact that you're having with the resources that are coming in and the transparency, the accountability, and the delivery of services. So well done to the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Levesque.
Just to, I guess, to lead on to Councillor Tripp's comments, none of this can happen without a team, and the team functions really, really well all the way to every corner of the township. And that's evident, not just through administration, but roads and all kinds of other things, the fire department, and everybody else who contributes in between. But one of the bigger things, as Councillor Tripp said, I mean, it's one thing to do the work and be successful at that, but it's also another thing to share what you're doing and the transparency around that. And I don't think we've seen that much in the past, and it really just helps to grow the exposure of what the great work is that we're doing here and how we're contributing to the community and making it a better, vibrant place to be. And I think that that just the communication aspect of it is a huge bonus for everybody. We see some of that in other townships, but certainly not to this length of visibility. And lastly, the report itself, which is extremely comprehensive and it allows everybody, all the ratepayers, to determine, how things get done and where the money goes and why we do what we do, the decisions that go into them and the people executing on those decisions. So it's a really, really great package all around, and I really applaud the entire team for pulling it together. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? Councillor Thompson.
I don't want to say the exact same thing, but wow, this is pretty impressive all around. When we started off and we did our first strategic plan, I was thinking, first of all, we started off, we all had ideas, but when we put that plan together, that is key to everything that's happening. Because, every bylaw you see, it checks off one of the four, sometimes all of the four pillars. And I just see it working for the whole team. And I'm not to pat ourselves on the back because we, as council, because we did it in collaboration with the managers and whatnot. So yeah, I really see that makes such a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, what can you say? We have a team, it's small, it's mighty, and at times you've got to be saying to yourselves, what now do they want me to do? I got enough on my plate. My turkey dinner's full. I don't have any room for stuffing. Man, and we send some stuffing your way, and somehow you guys get through it, and you make it look good, and you make it easy. And I always say it's kind of like a duck, right? Your duck looks nice and calm on the surface, but the feet are moving absolutely furiously to keep things going. And there's got to be times where, yeah, it's frustrating, but you have to look at all that you've accomplished. And quite frankly, it's the amount of people and the amount of work that you're given. You guys are just doing an amazing job. Like if a baseball player gets amazing pay if he hits 300. So that's right 1/3 of the time. And you guys are somewhere around 99.9. So think of how much money you'd be making as baseball players. You're not getting that in remuneration this year, but just think about it. Yeah. So yeah, you're hitting over your pay. But I want to thank you so much for the job. And that's everybody from our volunteer firefighters to 25 of them to everybody on our 30-member staff and council and our volunteers. I can't express enough how much our volunteers to this community mean as well. And, when things need to be done, whether it's something gone wrong at the community center, there's a phone call to a staff member and they're there. And Leonard's usually the guy that does it because nobody else answers their phone. It's Leonard on his team, so he gets it. And then there's like going out of the amount of work that's on Kristen's plate, and she's able to plug through it and get it done and keep us all looking professional. Our firefighting team is 75% at standard, and it's just our new people. I don't think you can find that level in any other township. And Chris, you said, I only had 433 inspections this year. Well, that's a lot you only have 365 days in the year, and that's every day. So yeah, you think you say to yourself, I only had 453. That's a lot of work. And I don't think the public knows the amount of background work that you guys all have to do to keep this township going. I mean, everything from, unfortunately I wasn't able to attend because of medical reasons, but this year we had an event out at the racetrack called Guitars and Gasoline. You don't understand the amount of work that in the background that was done to special occasion permit, to emergency planning, to the assistance of our environment, to our roads. Everybody was involved in that event that took place in our community, from finance understanding the insurance and putting in for with the emergency planning. And so there's a lot goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. And I want to make sure that and all your staff know that we as council understand how much work you do and how much extra hours you put in at such strange times sometimes. whether it be rescuing an eagle in the middle of the night or things, but you're always there. You're always there for us, whether it's, I mean, Steve at 4 o'clock in the mornings rescuing a guy from his car last year coming into work. So there's a lot of things that go on here that people don't see, and I want to know you're appreciated for it. So thank you. If there's anything else on this, then we will move on to section 11.1, the library board. Councillor Thompson for information.
Hi, things are perking along nicely. We did a bit of a change with the donations and bequeathments. We're going to keep them in a separate fund that will gain interest. But that is so when people hand over, you know, from their will or something, they're more likely to give it to us if it's for a major project, if we need to build a library someday, if you know, something, you know, so that doesn't go into the daily finances, the day-to-day, but that is also separate from all the fundraising work that's our obligation, which we're proud to do, to get our budget through. So just a small change, but I think it, you know, that's how it works, right? Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions from council on that? Councillor Tripp.
Just a comment, and we saw that in the year-end report. The library has done an incredible job. You're up in membership. You're up in activity of people coming in and using. Membership is one thing, but actually having people come through the door is a second. Your finances are getting stronger, and even hearing now about bequest and endowment giving in a time when other municipalities are looking at closing their library. We had those discussions, or not we, but past councils had that discussion. And I'm really pleased that we made that commitment to stand behind the library, and for you to come today and tell us where it's at now is very encouraging. It'll be interesting to see that dialogue in another 10 years at this table. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Oh, Councillor Thompson.
I just want to make sure anyone from the library that's listening knows it was a team effort and it wasn't just because I popped in. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will now move on to 11.2, Recreation and Culture Committee. Councillor Levesque.
Thank you. Not a lot to report. The last meeting we recapped the Great Pumpkin Walk, so that's going to be another annual event that we've started this year, and it'll continue on hopefully next year and years following. We did talk about overall the various items that we brought forward this year, and all felt it was unanimous that those items would be brought forward for this coming year as well. And now we move into the Winter Carnival and those types of events for this season. I think a lot of the things that we did during the summer were certainly successful, and I think there are things that we took feedback on that we can build upon and make them even better. So the team felt quite strongly that that's the direction we want to go. And I would like to send thanks to Caitlin for being our team member on there, as well as Robin from the staff. And I think Caitlin, being the senior active living and recreation representative for the township, she's doing a great job of supporting and also consolidating kind of what we're all trying to do together to bring recreation and culture to the township. So hats off to everybody involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from council? None, thank you. We'll now move on to 11.1, South Ottawa Valley OPP Detachment Board. Councillor Tripp.
Thank you. We too are wrapping up our year end as we move into the new year. It's been a year of transition, but I think we've turned the corner in terms of getting the feet under the board and the organization moving forward. There will be a new president coming in January, Mr. John Proctor. He's one of our community members. We thought it appropriate that the board change its leadership every 2 to 3 years so that we don't have it encourages new ideas and new styles coming forward. So that transition happened at our last board meeting and will be effective January 1. The invoicing has gone out. For 2024, which is a while back, the agreement was made by the municipalities together when this piece of legislation was being implemented that they would share the cost, that Renfrew would cover it for the 2024 year. Those numbers have come in and have been presented to the 7 municipalities as actuals. It breaks down to about $2,600 for that period per municipality for 2024. For 2025, the budget was set at 114.9, so 115. That has also been invoiced now that the 2024 was invoiced on actuals. The 2025 has been invoiced on what we agreed to as a budget amongst the 7 of us. So that number has been, that invoice has gone out. They are just wrapping up the final actual expenditures for 2025. So the surplus that exists will be applied to the 2026 invoice before it goes out. The other thing is the OPP is changing their reporting. We get a report from the detachment commander at each board meeting on activities throughout the detachment catchment area, throughout the 7 municipalities. It's heavy in terms of analytical data. They've done a remarkable job at the last meeting to tell the story and to bring it up. And we've asked them now to give us 2 documents, one for the 7 municipalities, but one for each of our municipalities. And you'll start to see that come forward in my reports for the next year to talk about the impact that we're having. And then the other part of the legislation and the establishment of a board is to give detachments a view into what the community needs are. So we, as our area, will be looking to send out community surveys to residents, asking what their vision and their values on policing are. So that will be coming out early in the new year, which will roll back into the reports. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns, discussion items from council? There are none seen. We will now move on to section 12, closed session. 12.1, enter into closed session. Resolution, please.
That the council meeting of December 18th, 2025 enter into closed session at 4:27 p.m. pursuant to section 2932 of the Municipal Act regarding 1, personal matters about an identifiable individual, specifically a Canada Day committee members.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Thompson, second by Councillor Tripp. All in favor to move into close? We are in close. Thank you. It's unanimous. Thank you for your patience. We are now back and open. It is 4:39 PM. Resolution, please, clerk.
That council moves back into open session at 4:39 PM and reports the following as a result of the closed meeting item. 1, personal matters about an identifiable individual, specifically a Canada Day committee members. That council directs staff to repost the Canada Day committee openings and report back at the January council meeting.
Thank you. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tripp, second by Councillor Levesque. All in favor? So carried. Thank you. We'll then now move on to 14, bylaw approval. Bylaw 14.1, bylaw approval, resolution number 224-25. Be it resolved that the following bylaw, 71-2025, confirmatory, be read first, second, and final time and passed by council at the regular council meeting held December 18th, 2025. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tripp, second by Councillor Levesque. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. We'll move on to 15, adjournment. 15.1, motion to adjourn, resolution that the regular council meeting of December 18th, 2025 be adjourned at 4:40 PM. Councillor Thompson for the mover and Councillor Levesque for the second. All in favor? That is unanimous, so carried. Thank you very much. Have a safe Christmas and holiday season, and be safe, everyone. Thank you.